Hi, I'm Bormai, and welcome to How to Improve Your Game with These Settings, CoD Warzone Season 2. So, I don't know, it could just be my personal preference or lack thereof, I guess, that I've noticed a few changes with Season 2, settings-wise. I'm going to share those and many more. So, pull up a chair and grab some popcorn, get comfortable, and let's talk about settings. Alright guys, I'm just going to go over this in the order that it is on the options menu. First up, this is for controller. We'll probably get into some mouse and keyboard stuff here shortly. So first off, let's talk about your button layout. Personally, I think the best button layout, and you should get used to this quick, is the tactical layout. So what the tactical layout does is that makes your R3 your crouch, your prone, and your slide. And it makes your circle button your melee instead of the other way around. Now, I do this because outside of maybe the first minute or two of parachuting into the game, you're probably not going to use a lot of melee, right? I know I crouch, prone, and slide far more often than I ever melee. Now, I'm not going to say I never melee, but think about it. Start paying attention. What do you use more? You don't want to have to take your fingers off of the thumbstick so that you can slide, crouch, and prone, which you do far more often. The next thing we should talk about is dead zone. So dead zone is, have you ever had that, that little thumbstick sway? It's basically, you look at the mini map and you notice that your thumbstick is going left or right. If you adjust your dead zone, that will get rid of the drift in your thumbstick. Now, horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity. This is something that maybe it's just my opinion, but I feel like here in Season 2 has changed. I have actually slowed my sensitivity down a little bit, and I used to keep my vertical sensitivity up one higher, but I have changed and I made them both sticks. So I was at 7 for horizontal and 8 for vertical. However, I lowered them because I felt like as I was running through doors and jumping in through windows and stuff, I was getting caught up a lot. And so I just started playing with these sensitivities until that stopped happening. So maybe coincidental. I do feel like Season 2, this was something that changed. All right, so this is a big one here. ADS sensitivity multiplier low zoom. This only takes effect if you have a scope that is 3.25 magnification or less, okay? So this is iron sights. Any scope that is under 3.25 magnification or less, and it only takes effect while you're aiming down the sights, all right? So your movement left and right, that's your horizontal, up and down is your vertical, and this is ADS period, up, down, left, right. This is how fast you move. If you move this above 1, you're going to move much faster. If you move this below 1, it's going to be much slower. This is a huge setting most people need to change, and they don't, okay? You need to figure out what your sense is, go into a bot lobby, and start trying to shoot bots, both hip fire and ADS. But when you're ADSing, pay attention. Are you under scrolling the bot when you're trying to aim? Are you not quite hitting them? Or are you over scrolling the bot, meaning you're going past the bot? Now, if you're under scrolling, your ADS is too slow. You need to boost that up a little bit. And I wouldn't go a lot. I would make micro adjustments, the minimal, until you get it zeroed in. And if you're going over, then you're going to want to lower the sensitivity. Now, your ADS sensitivity multiplier high zoom, this is only going to be for your scopes that are above 3.2, basically your sniper rifles, your tactical rifles. If you're aiming down sights and you're having a hard time with this, for this one, I really don't recommend going under 1. In fact, as you can see, I've slightly turned mine up, and that's just because when people are running and slide canceling and jumping, it's much easier to lead your target. Aim response curve type. I'm going to go into details on these curve types right now, okay? I'm going to take a snippet from an old video and I'm going to put it in here. but this is basically something that needs to be explained. In fact, if you look above, you're going to see a link, and there's also going to be a link in the description. I have a video that I really went into hardcore depth and details of what a lot of these settings do. Now let's talk about aim response curve. There are 3 types of aim response curves you can choose from in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, whether you're playing multiplayer or Warzone. That's going to be your standard, your linear, and your dynamic. So for those of you who don't know what response curve is and how it affects your aim, it basically responds directly to your thumbstick movement and how it moves as you move your thumbstick left and right. Your standard aim response curve is your run-of-the-mill Call of Duty response curve. This is what they've been using GoTo for years. They started adding some of the other ones as things progress, play styles change. So what this does is it kind of has what I'd call a ramping effect. So if you move your controller slowly to one side or the other, it kind of moves slow. But if you quickly push your thumbstick, say all the way one way, left or right, it's going to ramp up and allow you to move and aim fast. This is what most people are going to use, as it's going to be what feels most like your Call of Duty. Linear response curve. So basically, this is a direct correlation to what you do with your thumb. This feels the most real to me. This is my favorite style. So basically, if I make a small micro adjustment or a big adjustment, slow, fast, doesn't matter, however I move it, it moves exactly how I moved my thumb. There's no ramping, no slowdown, no flattening, no nothing. It just, however I move my thumb and wherever I move my thumb, this is where it goes. This is actually what most pros use. It does feel the most consistent, and it feels more like real life movements. I definitely recommend you checking this one out if you have not. Finally, let's talk about your dynamic response curve. So this is basically a mixture of the other two, the standard and the linear response curve. They describe it as a reverse S-curve. When you first move your thumbstick, it kind of acts like the linear as it'll respond how you're moving. And then if you hit the center of that curve, it kind of flattens out. It's roughly halfway to all the way over. It flattens out, and you can get control. It kind of helps you, I feel like, with the recoil. But once you pass that halfway point, you're all the way over. It starts to move really fast. It seems like you can kind of snap back and forth if you go side to side. I feel like that could be really helpful if you were, you know, maybe soloing multiple targets and you needed to snap back and forth between each one. I personally am not a big fan. I feel like it feels kind of weird to me. You know, but again, this is all personal preference. So I would recommend you try all 3 different curves and see what works best for your play style, as one might work better and feel better to you. Controller vibration. Listen, guys, if you've got this enabled, turn it off. That's going to make the biggest difference right away, because when you're aiming down sights and you're getting shot and your controller is vibrating, it's a lot harder to keep your aim steady. Aim assist. For me, I just use the standard. I like the way the original feels. I think if you want to rush, you should probably be on focus. Now, I know it says it's for new players, but the aim assist for controller on focusing is so much stronger. And when you're rushing into a room and there's a guy in a corner that you barely see, this aim assist for focus is so much better. Now, if you're not so much of a rusher, you can use whatever you want. I personally, my personal opinion, I like standard, but you might have better luck with precision or focus. Use/reload. I really prefer contextual tap. I think it is the best one, as you can tap to reload or to use, but whenever you hold it down, say you're in a helicopter or whatever, you don't want to jump out, you can just hold down your reload button, and it will it'll automatically reload. Armor plate. I like apply one. I tried to do the apply all, and I got in situations where I was in the middle of putting on like my second plate and people were shooting at me, and I couldn't cancel the stupid animation and get back actively into that gunfight. So I just totally swapped that out to apply one so I can do it one at a time. I find that best. Again, that one might be a little bit of an opinion. Slide behavior. Okay. This one is also huge. I do not like hold because I changed my my button layout to tactical. I just want to tap that R3 button and start sliding. You need to, if you're going to get good at this game, you need to master sliding, slide canceling, sliding around corners, jumping, bunny hopping around corners, being able to jump and aim, being able to slide and aim, being able to run and aim, and you need to start crosshair centering as soon as possible. Basically, if you're coming up on a 2-story building and there's a window, you're running towards it, the best, most likely place a hostile is going to be it's that second floor window. Start crosshair centering and being ready to fight. All this automatic sprint stuff, in my opinion, it is preference. Now, personally, I've played with the automatic sprint a lot because I like the idea of it. However, I just can't get used to it, and I don't give it enough try. I usually will turn it on for a game, and then I get fed up when I overrun past my cover, or I run out of cover, or I run past a building that I'm trying to go in. So I automatically just leave that as disabled. A lot of people like the auto deploy parachute disabled. I like it enabled. I do a lot of other things while I'm playing the game, and there are times where I'm jumping and I'm not overly paying attention, and if I don't have this on, I will hit the ground. All right. As far as all of this goes, the film grain, okay, this is what developers will put in to make this look really fancy and kind of motion picture like. You don't want this. In fact, if you look at any really good player, they're going to turn this down. Any streamer, any YouTuber, any pro player, they want the bare bones of the game. You're going to turn this down. I leave a little bit because I don't like it to look overly grainy, but you can turn this all the way down if that's something you like. I've seen a lot of people mess around with the colorblind types. Again, it doesn't bother me. I don't turn it off. World motion blur, disable all of these blur, weapon blur, motion blur, all of that. It tries to make it look more realistic. When you disable this, you will start noticing more enemies sitting on top of roofs or sitting in corners that would have blended in if you had this blur turned on. Now, minimap, guys, if you're not sitting at square by now, then change it, because you get to see a lot more of the minimap, believe it or not. And that is crucial when you're either having a UAV, somebody's in a vehicle, people are shooting near you, especially in game when the map, basically the final circle could be the size of the minimap. You can see shooting if they don't have some kind of concealed barrel. Then basically you can see their muzzle flash and they'll appear as a red dot, and it really, really makes a big difference in your game. The mini-map is huge. You need to pay attention to your mini-map. As far as mini-map rotation, I like for it to rotate in the direction I'm going. You can change it where it stays north all the time. I don't like that. I like to be able to just quickly glance up and tell them, I got shooting at north 248. Audio is a big one, guys. The audio in this game, no surprise, is terrible. It's one of the worst Call of Duties I've seen in forever. Especially, you can't tell when people are above you or below you or left or right. I have spent a lot of time messing with these audio settings, and I have found that boost really works the best if you're wearing a surround sound headset. Okay, if you have a 4.1 or 7.1 Dolby Digital surround sound headset, boost, to me, I have found absolutely the best. All right, guys, those are what I feel like are the current best settings for Call of Duty Warzone Season 2. I hope you can use these to improve your game, or hopefully you learn something that will help you make more of an informed decision on what settings you want to use. Until next time, I'm Bormai, signing out and wishing you happy gaming.